There's something very important we can learn from watching Josie and the Pussycats in outer space. Though they're surrounded by Gorgo and the Canyonians, notice how neat their clothes are at all times.
Maybe that's because they're the only rock and roll band in outer space.
Time is of the essence. Time is the reason, time is the season. Time to play B-sides. Anyway, the time would be for you, the listener, to wake, rattle, and roll. For this is every Saturday morning.
Cue the theme song.
Every Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning.
Hotcha! Welcome to 1973, Groovy Cats and Kittens. I'm Adam Fair.
And I'm Dusty Griffin. You know, Adam, I've been doing a little more thinking than usual lately.
Dusty, are you crying?
Yes. I think about all the people.
Why are your hands all red?
People toiled over translating these TV show properties into cartoons, and God, can you imagine the challenge?
Okay. I'm looking at my notes, and it does say that they did try very hard every time.
Every time?
They made a cartoon. But let's go through them anyway and kind of pick out the weak spots just for the fuck of it. Hey, it's 1973. That's what I'm talking about. We're in the gross 70s where people could try a little harder. Is that how you would categorize the 70s? Un mas?
Yeah. When was Cruising?
Cruising? That's 1980.
Okay, I was trying to think of what you just got off of reviewing.
1973, though, the music, I wouldn't say that they would be dancing to it at Cruising, but let's go through them. Rolling Stones' Angie was top of the charts. Tony, Orlando, and Dawn tied a yellow ribbon around that old oak tree. At number 2...
Are you fucking kidding me? That is the oldest sounding song I've ever heard in my life. Are you kidding me?
Number 3, Sweet, performing Ballroom Blitz.
Oh, that's
Cassandra's song.
That's excellent.
Then Elton John's Crocodile Rock. What a weird year. Roberta Flack sings Killing Me Softly with his song.
Amazing.
The Steve Miller Band plucks out a Joker.
Oh yeah, the Midnight Toker, that one.
And this is the year of Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
It looks like Money was the top song from the single, I mean.
Oh, yeah, Money, It's a Drag, with cashier sounds. It's the only rock song, classic rock song with cash register sounds.
When I saw Laser Floyd at the Orlando Science Center in high school, they had a big cash register.
Did they really?
We're on CBS this week. That's the cereal bowl station. Their top shows at the time were Mannix, Barnaby Jones, Gunsmoke, Here's Lucy. They're really courting the young vote. Maude, Hawaii Five-0, Mary Tyler Moore, Kojak, The Waltons, Good Times, MASH, All in the Family, Bob Newhart, and The Carol Burnett Show. Still going.
So, yeah,
After all these years.
Some would call that a golden period.
Something.
I mean, not for Lucy, but...
yeah, everybody but Lucy is classic.
I mean, look, you got
That's Lucy.
I don't know. Barnaby Jones and Mannix.
Do you think Lucy was taking on hard-hitting contemporary topics like racism, like All in the Family was? Or was it more like, I can't fit these bags in my car?
Was this the one where she wore the tracksuit all the time?
She's just always in like a triangle dress, I think, in this. Always in a coat coming from shopping, I think.
Oh.
Buying more carpets. Well, just by that description, of course, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll have a groovy time at the Flintstone Comedy Show.
Is that what the theme song says?
Yes, apparently now We've gone from gay to groovy.
Yeah.
And then we go from groovy to great, I believe. And then back to gay, as it tends to go, folks.
Funny, because I always talk about how they changed that one word, and then this time I was lining up for it, and I guess it just washed right over me. You know, I didn't
forgot to really listen.
I did, and I was concentrating on the way the intro looks because it's got like it turns all red, and then it makes some blocks. It looks really what is that?
70s would be a great way to describe the look of this show.
Yeah,
which
totally.
means kind of cruddy.
Secondly, can I say that this is the second version of the Flintstones Comedy Hour? This is the Flintstones Comedy Hour that's no longer an hour.
Right.
They decided to take out the second half of the show.
Yeah, that means no Pebbles and Bam Bam reruns.
Which hurts me.
Which, woof. But then they replaced them. Now the focus is more on the Bedrock Rockers, Pebbles and Bam Bam's band. God, that's stupid to say.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bam Bam Bam. And then you get 2 Fred and Barney shorts, and then just some really bad jokes.
In between.
Sprinkled in between.
And no games. They took the...
Did you miss? Guess who George Washington is?
Yeah. They got rid of that. I still don't know.
Joey Besser.
But hey, that's new material, man. I love that shit.
Again, I gotta question how we go from sitcom to variety show. We've had so many Flintstone comedy shows that are basically just random shorts kind of piled up together. I'd say this version of the Flintstone Comedy Show is probably the closest to the original series.
You think so?
In that it's painfully mundane. We should also point out that the returning cast is Alan Reed, Mel Blanc, Gene Vanderpyle, Gay Hartwig, Jay North, and replacing Sally Struthers, unfortunately, is Mickey Stevens. Well, not unfortunately. I mean, they're both fine.
Sorry, Sally.
Sorry. Sally was busy with Gloria, the All in the Family spinoff, I believe, at the time.
Oh, right. One thing about this show is they started injecting musical numbers.
Yeah, how'd you feel about that?
I really like Pebbles and Bam Bam, and them being gone from this version, in my opinion, really hurts the show. Is that bad? I don't know. That's how I feel.
Well, what do you find appealing? Do you find the Pebbles and Bam Bam adventures more appealing than the regular Flintstone Fred and Barney based adventures?
At this point, they got Schlep Rock. But
that's
anyway,
true. Better friends.
So let me just say right off the bat, I watched number 8 and number 6. I think you watched 8 also, didn't you?
Yes, I believe I watched the episode which featured the cartoons Cat Burglars, The Circus Show,
Yes,
and Pizza Puss. These adventures have been made really minor in this iteration of the Flintstones. Like Cat Burglars, there's just 2 cat burglars patiently waiting outside Fred's house, waiting for him to leave so they can just rob it.
One of them's Buggy. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, that's how you know.
Yep.
And he left an alarm on so it'll alert the police. And then for some reason immediately he's like, "Shit, I gotta take a wicked dump, Bonnie. I gotta get back in the house." So the rest of the cartoon is them trying to get back into the house, in which the only successful method is Fred going down the chimney, in which he gets a black smudge around his eyes, I guess, kind of looking like a mask. Mm-hmm. Burglar mask. Mm-hmm. And Dino is stupid and just like, "I don't know who you are."
Everything they say about Dino in the intro turns out to be true, because it starts out, they're like, "Dino is the worst watchdog ever. He'd probably help him carry my freaking TV out," and
that's exactly what Dino does.
Because Fred's like, "We can't, you know what, if I put my hand on the wall, it'll put the contacts together and the perimeter alarm will activate the, it's...
It was just a bird. And it's just a living.
Yeah.
That ends. And then Pebbles and Bam Bam play Keepin' Time, while colors flash wildly across the screen and random clips from other episodes, maybe? What are those clips we were seeing?
I don't know.
There's one clip is like the 3 girl characters all line up, and one clip is Moonrock kind of jamming, not to the music, and then one clip is just Bam Bam kind of bumping. He's playing the drums with his palms.
And it gives them a presence on a show they're not on.
Yeah, it's a psychotropic music video, but I don't understand.
It's funny. They're still in the intro.
Yeah. I just don't get why they're not playing specific interesting venues that we could parody with the Stone Age. I just don't. This is so aimless. It's like the Beatles cartoon. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the Beatles are over. It's 1973.
Yeah,
get over it. Saturday morning.
That was 10 years
Shut up.
ago. 10 years ago.
I don't want to hear another Yeah Yeah song
Yeah.
from a bunch of assholes. We're in agreement. Okay, then from there we go to a Pebbles and Bam Bam short, The Circus Show, where they put on a circus to raise money for the school prom. Humorous mistakes are made. Bam Bam pretty much abuses a saber-toothed tiger, so they do great. It's a circus. Then we get another music video, Pebbles and Bam Bam singing Being With You. I can't remember the life of me how these songs go.
Oh, yeah. I had to write mine down. One of mine was Sunny Sunday. Sunny Sun.
They're all Sunny Sundays. Yummy, yummy, sunny Sunday. Now on to the main cartoon of the half hour. Fred and Barney in Pizza Puss. And oh man, I thought for sure this was going to be filthy.
No.
It is not. And it doesn't feature the dog, or not the dog, their cat, Baby Puss. That's the cat that always gets put out at the end of the old Flintstones credits.
Baby Puss.
Baby Puss is not featured in this, nor does he get a pizza to the face. Fred's letting Pebbles throw a party, finally. And he's assigned to get 37 pizzas. 37, unfortunately, the only pizzeria in Bedrock is closed due to lack of chef.
Spumoni Stone.
So Fred just makes himself chef. I don't even think he asks. And
I think they break in, don't they?
he gets stuck running the whole show anyway, which makes no sense. He should just get while the getting is good. Fred gets into a fight on the phone with customer Mr. Slate, whose wife Fred insults for keep changing her order. You know, cave women.
And Barney says, "Gee, Fred, what, isn't that your boss?"
All right.
Jesus Christ, Barn, what have I done?
So Fred does the only thing he can do. He puts on a fake mustache,
Right.
fooling everybody.
The crux of this episode is that none of these people recognize each other in
Now
person.
get this. The rest of this cartoon involves yet more thieves and constantly tripping and throwing a hot pizza in someone's face. That happens about 18,000 times. This era of the Flintstones is kind of lost. I don't know why this is where they are. It's the 70s. Shouldn't Fred kind of grumble over Pebbles' various friends and with sexual orientations and ethnic backgrounds he's threatened by?
Well, Adam,
President Nick Stone, a foot oil shortage, water buffalo gate. Pebbles and Bam Bam don't protest anything. I just felt like this was a bunch of gold they could have mined, but instead,
yeah.
a Beatles parody, finally.
You know, this show is like Fred and Barney's retirement. The Flintstones was their show, right? That's when they were
The
working.
meat of their life.
And then Pebbles and Bam Bam happened, and then they just went and hung out at their college a bunch, right? And now they're just
My job is done.
now they've gone back home.
There's always some task that goes wildly wrong.
Yeah.
The news is usually called.
Their kazoo days are over. Their lives are boring at this point.
There weren't enough Stone Age gadgets. I feel like Pebbles should have gone to school to learn inventing or work in a patent office or something.
Hell yeah.
That would have been something. But even as a band, they don't even do anything with it. Like, this isn't a Stone Age band. They don't sing about rocks and rock and roll.
I just felt like they were trying to hack off one song per segment. One song per segment.
2 songs is too many.
Yeah. I obviously.
How about none?
This is one of the worst periods in Flintstones
It's drab.
era. Sorry.
Very drab. So I need some pep in my step. So at 8:30, it's Bailey's Comet. Bailey's Comets. Deputy Freeling affair with 16 episodes. It's the semi-wacky races.
Right.
It's a $1 million worldwide roller skating race. Focus on the titular team, Bailey's Comet, who are sexy white teens. Could do no wrong.
Who are... They're lined up like the human centipede.
When they skate, sure.
Yeah. Can I paint the picture? They're a skating team, and when they skate so close that their crotches
Ass to mouth.
Yeah. They and the other teams do it too. To be fair,
Yeah, maybe it's a perspective that Freeling just wasn't comfortable with. We need to see everybody all the time.
they got painful theme song.
Everyone's out to find the next big clue that's gonna lead them to the $1 million prize.
I don't know. I just couldn't stop thinking of Wacky Races. It's just that.
Me
kind of-
either. Yeah. Except that the other teams don't. They're not unified. They're just like, what about a Dracula on skates?
Yeah,
And
these
what
are
about a
what-
robot on skates?
A lot of these are just like, we'll get into them in a sec. The voices included Carl Esser, Jim Begg, Dawes Butler, Kathy Gorey, Bob Holt, Sarah Kennedy, Don Messick, Karen Smith, and Frank Welker. Let's get into the teams. All right, well, the Texas Black Hats were little cowboys who horses had skates on. The Jekyll Hides were several English doctors affected by a mad scientist serum, so they would randomly change throughout the episode. Mm-hmm. The Ramblin' Rivets were scientists and robots. The Duster Brothers were bikers. The Roller Coasters were circus freaks. The Stone Rollers were cavemen. The Cosmic Rays were aliens. See how this goes. The Gargantuan Giants were a huge football team. There's more. The Rocking Rollers were a band. The Broomer Girls were witches. The Roller Bears were Bruins.
Bears. The Rolling Bears.
The Yo-Ho-Hos were pirates. The Hairy Mountain Red Eyes were hillbillies. And finally, the Mystery Mob, which was like a fight cloud on skates. Like there's just hands and feet. But it's a mystery. Is the mystery why they fight, or do they fight to maintain the mystery cloud? We don't know. It's all commented on by announcers Gabby, who's a Howard Cosell parody. How's it going down there? And Doodaroo, a cowboy hat wearing dork.
Dork, period.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. How stupid are their helmets?
How
you
stupid
know
is-
those little
how stupid
things?
is all of this?
It's like if there was a slightly less exciting Wacky Races. And the animation is kind of interesting because it's first of all, let me say it's got
not full or anything, but it's so stylized you buy the limitation.
They started with some character. They got some stuff there. Like when they start skating and they start repeating the animation, they got that down. They must have did that early, so it looks fairly slick. Actually, it reminds me more of like a Johnny Quest style animation than a Hanna-Barbera. You know what I mean? That's what makes this different from Wacky Races. Mainly is
Very
this
angular.
It's angular. It's a different style.
You can tell they thought that this would write itself.
Mm-hmm. And I wrote here, it's a rat race type story.
I mean, it's a race every week, so it's about cheating and gags that keep people from finding clues. So are those things funny in any of the episodes you saw?
No, I watched the one
Not particularly.
where Auntie Hag, they run across some hicks, and this
Nice.
hick girl kidnaps some of the men from the race using a love potion. It's just it's not that exciting. Again,
It's a little stock.
colorful, not very well preserved. Once
Sure.
again, we had
That's not the show's fault.
people stealing diamonds in this one too. I kind of feel like everyone besides the Comets themselves look hideous.
They're all bad guys, though. I think they're all
Everybody besides them.
like Bailey's are the only good young Christian group, whereas everybody else seems to cheat at least once an episode. Like in Wacky Races, it was always Dick Dastardly just cheating and failing, and then other people racing. And this one, everyone cheats except for Bailey's. Delicious Baileys. I thought of this old joke when I watched this. This food is horrible and such small portions. This is like Wacky Races by way of Super 6.
Well, that's not going to endear it to me.
Super Woo.
I hate Super 6. Super 6!
Yeah.
I rated every single show we watched this morning, and in this one, I just drew a little roller skate. I didn't even rate it. 'Cause
Sad roller skate.
I think I was falling asleep watching it.
How do you feel about cartoons that are a competition every week? Do you feel like you're actually watching a competition with any kind of dramatic weight, or are you like, Scooby's always gonna win this fucking thing?
The latter,
Yeah.
definitely. Because I was wondering, when do they get this $1 million? They don't get $1 million a week, do they?
Whoops, show got canceled before that last episode, folks.
Nobody got the $1 million.
That was the one where we were gonna see all the Bailey's members. Fucking.
You know what? I found this in some interesting places.
Kind of reminded. There's an Adult Swim show called Ball Masters 9009. It also kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, I love anything where they delineate them into teams.
But roller skating, I don't know. I don't
Nah.
know if that was enough of a gimmick
Not for me.
because At least you could say on Wacky Races, even the cars were interesting. I don't think their roller skates were that interesting. All right, time to move on to the new Scooby-Doo movies. This is the last season 2 of new Scooby-Doo movies, the second Scooby-Doo series, the one with all the celebrities. This is the one I like the best.
Is it really?
Because it's just so random. The guests are really good. They bring their like weird old jokes. I watched the Dick Van Dyke episode as it is the finale.
Oh, I love their drawing of him.
He makes some really goofy faces. And they make him out to be such a, like, shyster, too. The famous Dick Van Dyke joins us today. On their never-ending road trip, Mystery Inc. comes upon said carnival, and Velma explains, studies show that artificial stimuli provided by carnivals relieve tensions of everyday exigencies.
What? They didn't have to read that.
It'd be funny if they kicked her out of the car like Brainy Smurf out of Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
The carnival is strangely deserted, and the teens approach a snoring ticket booth, which turns out to be Dick Van Dyke.
Yes.
Dick springs into sales mode, and Velma recognizes the star of Dick Van Dyke meets Bill Cosby. It's DVD.
Really?
It is not available on DVD. DVD explains how sales have been low, but gives the kids free tickets anyway. Then he suddenly appears in a different costume as their ticket taker. He's assuming all of the roles at the carnival in kind of an odd ode to Seven Faces of Dr. Lou. Dick springs up to bark for the strong man, also Dick, but with a balloon musculature. And the Dyke Man explains the obligatory curse to the kids. And they encounter a gray floating ghost arm, causing destruction. Shag and Scoob begin ravishing the carnival food. And this exchange happens. Are you hungry or scared? Ska, hungry.
Hey Adam, do you remember what the original title of the show was?
Who's ska hungry? They discover a hidden passageway underneath a grill. Mike Myers will never find him down there. A funhouse mirror gag is potentially wasted until Scooby looks into one and sees himself as a real dog for a second.
Whoa.
Hopefully that's on screen. Skaggy and Shooby spot a ghost in a wife beater and hide. But Shaggy misunderstands his dog, who says, "Prop the door with a dumbbell." Then Scooby calls him a dumbbell. The two are on the verge of their first fight.
You're a dumbbell.
That's exactly what happens. Suddenly, Casper the Strong Man appears. Shaggy, if there's one thing worse than a ghost, it's one with muscles. Which sounds like the tagline for the never-made crossover film combining Ghost Dad with Santa with muscles. Dick plays juggler and magician to the gang as Shaggy and Scooby never gonna not do that now, get stuck in the with the ghost on a roller coaster. Dick shouts that he has to be over 6 years old, and Shaggy reports he says he's 600 years old. Dick says without a senior citizen's ticket, he'll have to get off. The ghost pulls the brakes, and Shaggy and Scooby go flying off, landing safely on the balloon outpost. The ghost fills one slightly larger balloon, which is tied to the kiosk, and sends them up into the air. Mm-hmm. Dick shouts, "Advertise my show!" Velma says, "Look, the ghost is going to reflect the sun onto the balloons and pop them." Using a mirror.
Wow.
As the balloons burst, they plummet.
Jeez.
The two plummet for 5 minutes when Dick whips out some ice cream in a cart for them to land in. Somehow this works.
It's awesome.
Somehow. Van Dyke never hides from danger. So, what are you going to do? Well, I'm thinking of changing my name. Daphne.
Dick, get him.
Daphne uses the photo. When Daphne uses the photo booth, Velma goes, "Women."
Oh, really?
She disappears. Dick uses the 5-cent fortune-telling gypsy machine because it knows all. "That is a penny," it says to Dick. And a trapdoor opens in the middle of the fucking ground.
That's a great gag.
And the three drop onto a boat on underground river. Fred and Velma, meanwhile, find Daphne playing on the bumper cars and gets crashed into by a ghost, somehow surviving a 3-car bumper pile-up. Anyways, they all meet up inside the Tunnel of Love, a long, complicated, spooky ride Dick forgot he owned. Shaggy tries to leave, but a trap gate slams down in front of him. Venturing further underground, they come upon glowing costumes, wires, and projectors, all proving the former employee lifting weights in the corner made up the ghost. The strongman explains how he wanted to buy the carnival at a reduced ghost price, but somehow he ends up knocked in the ice cream, which completely enables him. The gang take jobs at Dick Van Dyke's carnival with Scooby as a barker. This episode ends with them under the employment of Van Dyke's carnival industry.
Damn, what's not to like about that? I mean, honestly,
the Dick
Adam,
stuff was pretty good.
We'll
I liked all the Dick stuff.
We'll get into.
Don't throw shit at me.
I get heated when we get to Scooby-Doo. Compared to, the celebrity in the episode I watched, that is a lot. By the way, Adam, did you subconsciously watch the Dick Van Dyke episode because he turned 93 this week?
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't even think about that. I mean, he was last in the list.
Jinkies! So I watched Scooby-Doo meets Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed?
Yeah, from Smokey and the Bandit.
What?
The redneck.
Why did they meet Jerry Reed?
Oh my God, Adam, it turns out they are friends with Jerry Reed.
Did they say, hey, it's the famous Jerry Reed?
First of all, they're like...
I don't even know him.
Jerry is playing... Because they came on as like Scooby-Doo meets Jerry Reed, and I was like, oh shit, what is this going to be like? Because one of my friends, Danny...
Okay.
He actually met Jerry Reed one time, so I was like thinking about his story about Jerry Reed.
Quiz him on this.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I don't want to misquote him, but I think Jerry Reed got rude with him and stuff. But where he met him, where he saw him playing,
Don Messick treated me like shit. Rotten hell.
Where he saw him playing was at like a hotel or something, And then in this episode, he's
the place
playing,
of happy dreams.
He's playing the Grand Ole Music Hall, which is obviously okay. That's got to move.
That's one way of doing it.
Which is obviously supposed to be the Grand Ole Opry.
Right.
So at this point, he was big. And basically, Adam, they go into the place. They've been invited by Jerry to come check it out. And they're like, we've known him forever. They roll up in there, Jerry. And
Jerry.
They get inside, and nobody is in the damn amphitheater, right? And they're sneaking around. The place is empty. And then they keep hearing Jerry Reed's song, Pretty Mary Sunlight. Right?
How's that go?
Pretty Mary Sunlight, she's alright with me. Pretty Mary Sunlight, ever met her, I'm great as hell. I don't know, something like that, right? And they keep hearing it. And this is when it occurs to me, I have seen this episode in my childhood.
What?
Because they're hearing it coming out of the grates in the floor. And they're like, it's Jerry! And they're like, swear to God, it's him! And they're missing. They sneak around this seemingly haunted Grand Ole Music Hall. Scooby ends up with a tiger rug on his back and scares the hell out of Shaggy. We did not get any Jerry Reed until Act 3.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, he's not in this at all.
They give up on Jerry halfway through writing it, and they're like, I don't think anyone's going to know who this guy is in 50 years.
So all they do is they keep hearing Pretty Mary Sunlight, and you hear it like 3 or 4 times coming from the vents. And they realize it's Jerry trying to signal them. Like, after they free him, they're like, all right, kids, now I can play my Grand Ole Opry show. And then he's up on stage, and I think he plays Pretty Mary Sunlight again, right?
For all the old people.
Pretty Mary Sunlight. And then it ends with Shaggy and Scooby singing, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. I don't know, Adam. It was like it was a clip from a different episode.
Because of those celebrities, this series is one of the few Scooby-Doos that went
wildly over budget.
Whoa.
Because I was watching this one, and
No
I kind of noticed a drop in quality. And it was weird because it's the same season as a lot of good-looking episodes.
Remember mine? It ended with you're hot, you're not, you're not, which didn't even seem like it was from the same episode. It was like they had swapped in some footage.
What was the show that had Scooby-Doo? Was it Supernatural?
Yeah, Scooby Natural.
But did they, in the Scooby Natural one, they kind of absorbed an old episode, right?
Yes.
Of Scooby-Doo into this?
Yeah, it was a night's night.
Okay, what a night for a night.
What a night for night, yeah.
So this idea almost happened in the late 90s on an episode of Dick Van Dyke's dramatic show, Diagnosis Murder.
What?
There was going to be a retrofitted use of his episode in a dream scenario.
Are you serious?
But it was nixed by Warner Brothers as they thought it would taint the original live-action Scooby-Doo motion picture, the OGLASDMP.
Do you mean the Sarah Michelle Gellar one?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But what show was it on? The paranormal show?
Supernatural?
Yeah, Supernatural. Yeah. By the time they got to that, they're like, there's nothing left to do but put them in everything.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. This is a killer era for Scooby-Doo right here.
I think it's the funniest.
It's great. It's great. You'd want this or the first era.
Are we all scooped out? Are we good?
Yeah, that's everything. I watched Jerry Reed.
Good on the Scooby side. Yeah. Speaking of things I don't remember, hey, it's My Favorite Martians.
Oh, you mean that show, Adam, with the guy and his
Martian?
No. What?
Not the Roy Walston Nick at Night thing. This is a 16 episodes of a Filmation animated spinoff of the 1963-1966 series My Favorite Martian, a sitcom about a reporter who finds a stranded Martian and masks him as his uncle as he repairs his kooky-ass spaceship and does dopey alien sitcom garbage. Well, at some point, Uncle Martin's nephew, Andromeda, crashes there too, but unlike the live-action series, he stays in this cartoon and has a goofy, dumbass space pet named OK. It's pretty superfluous.
I tell you, Adam, these space pet editions,
pets.
They are the bane of our existence. You missed one in Josie, but we'll get to that.
Oh my god. Okay. That's not enough. So the cartoon also adds the reporter Tim's niece Katie and the landlord's detective boyfriend's teen son and his teen son Brad's monkey. What the hell? None of these characters were voiced by their TV counterparts. We got Howard Morris, Jonathan Harris, Lane Scheimer, and Jane Webb. Also, nobody really looks like themselves anymore.
They don't? He's got crazy eyebrows.
What is with those eyebrows?
He looks like he's merged with Dr. Smith.
Yes! Thank God.
Doesn't he?
Glad I let you say that.
Yeah.
I've decided to live as I am.
First of all, Tim. All right, well,
I was getting major Smith vibes from this version of My Favorite Martian.
his fake nephew is Tim, right?
His fake
Tim?
His fake nephew is Andy.
Okay, so there's Andy who just looks
Tim has a niece, and they're humans.
He's just a regular looking brunette haired guy.
Here's another condemnation before we get to the show. The animation on this cartoon does not match the animated opening sequence on the live action show. Big mistake, and a common one that I don't like.
Really?
Look, if you got this famous sitcom and it's got an animated opening, you're given the opportunity to do an animated spinoff. Fucking make it look like the animated thing we all love at the beginning of the live action show. So I watched School Dance. Uncle Martin explains that Andy is bummed out because he's missing Martian makeout crater or something. So the frumpy Andy decides to play fast and loose with some magic football. And then the show just fucking migrates to a lame-ass Archie ripoff show featuring people that aren't Martians. They're just random teenagers.
Yeah.
Archie's gang shows up. So it's the Losers Club in Earth High with one Martian thing here or there. Uncle Martin forces Andy to take Katie's pig of a gal pal to the prom. There's nothing wrong with her, so I don't know what the deal was. Just doesn't like being told what to do. And he also invents a party planning machine, which is basically just a drone. All the while, the detective, neighbor, lover, whatever the fuck, his son and their monkey act suspicious and fall down, go boom. In my notes, I write, oh my god, it's not shitty alien Archie. This is shitty alien Sabrina.
Oh,
my pen
careful.
Slides off the page like the back of the sleepaway camp box. Mom and Dad, I'm real scared. What's that behind me?
Veronica.
Why is there a monkey?
And it wears a sweater, right?
You could say, like, his main action is wearing a sweater.
Yeah.
Why is there a monkey on this show?
What more do you need?
Cousin Andy or whatever should have been like, I bumped into this monkey up in space. They were just going to leave it there. That would have been relevant in 1973. They could have said it was a Rusky mission and he saved the animal they were just going to kill because we certainly never did that.
Project X.
Fucking.
Do you know I found this on the Internet Archive?
Me too.
What the fuck? That's where we're archiving.
Thanks for that.
So, in a nutshell, I can't really recommend this one.
This is stinky.
Yeah.
Did you watch the old show on Nick at Night? My Favorite Martian?
Yeah, the live action.
Yeah.
It's like the fake nephew goes to work during the day, and the uncle has like made a horse fly and win a marathon or something like that, and he's got to deal with it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He can do shit to animals.
Yeah, but it stays pretty localized. It's not like this. This is just weird. Now that we've talked all about that, thank God we are done with cartoon remakes of TV shows.
A good eye, because at 10:30 comes something called Jeannie. I don't think it's related to any shows. Again. Oh, wait. We're getting ahead of myself. Okay, Hanna-Barbera Screen Gems present this spinoff of I Dream of Jeannie, sorta.
What?
Which ran from 65 to 70. Instead of younger versions of Major Nelson and Roger Healy, etc.
Not at all.
Jeannie here, who's not the same Jeannie, is rescued by a dreamy surf rat named Corey, voiced by Mark fucking Hamill.
Really?
His first voice acting gig.
That must have been fresh off Corvette Summer.
Jeannie, when I get my hands on you...
Hands on who? Wait a minute.
Every gay boy has a Corvette Summer. I hope it's with Corey. I think I put him on my dreamy cartoon guy list, but yeah, Corey's in there. And so Jeannie is Julie McWhirter, playing a girl for once. She gets sidekicked here with an interesting character, a junior Jeannie in Jeannie's school, Babu, voiced by sometimes stooge Joe Besser. He's the one that goes, Yabble dabble!
Even.
Yapple dapple!
He's a genie that has not yet graduated genie school. So he's just kind of like...
He's the comic relief of the show, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Corey has this schlub of a friend, I think, named Henry. He's kind of the Maynard G. Krubs of this. He's kind of a loser that stands there. So Babu does the major comedy work. And what comedy work does Babu do? Babu bumps into stuff. Babu's upside down. Babu's half visible. Babu fucks up some magic. And Babu tends to say, did I mention it? He goes, Yabble dabbo! Like, this reminded me a little bit of Weird Science, the TV show, where Lisa couldn't sleep with the boys because they just couldn't handle it. And anytime she would take off her clothes, there would be like black bars over her junk. Because he's not interested in this shit at all.
Nobody that needs a genie gets one.
Yeah, no kidding. This
chump. I was thinking there's two people in the world that we know of, Major Nelson and this fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
what if Roger had got it and gotten Jeannie instead of...
He is kind of like Roger.
Major Nelson.
He is way more like Roger. That's a good call if you think about it. I mean, Roger's always just like, what are we doing? Huh?
He's always like, why don't we use her to get drinks and a party going?
That wouldn't be proper.
I just want to see the new animated version of My Favorite Martians. So I watched one where Corey wants to perform in the decathlon without Jeannie's help. Boy, oh boy, does very little happen. Mostly, she just kind of stops the bad kid from cheating. There's also an issue I'd like to bring up. I'm surprised the laws of the magic lamp don't keep the two genies more closely tethered to Corey or the lamp. It seems like they can have a free life. Mm-hmm. They call him Master, but they seem to kind of be free.
Yeah, Jeannie herself flies on a cloud like Goku, like just all around.
And then Babu humorously hasn't quite got the hang of it.
He's just like wherever. Where's Babu? I don't know. He's behind the bushes out back or something like.
Being bad at being at any place is Babu's hilarious thing. I'm in the bushes because I fell down. Just the screaming, the constant screaming to be that character.
What's up, Jeannie?
Dumb Babu spills the magic beans when Jeannie's trying to help. So Jeannie takes Corey and his doofy friend to the museum where they bring barely clothed athletic statues to life to coach Corey. Potential is never fully realized. That's how I would describe this show.
Mm-hmm. He at one point, is it Corey?
Yeah.
He said to her, I'll put you back in your bottle and have you recycled. Whoa.
Yeah, it does kind of get threatening with her. Clearly, he sees her as a sister.
He's the opposite.
Fuck.
Right. I thought, my closing thought on this is that I thought if they focused on the Jeannie school a little more, it might be more interesting.
Yeah, I want to know more about that.
Yeah, like what is Babu? What is his training, and what is the or what are the levels like? That'd be more interesting than what we're seeing here, which is a bunch of teenagers that are just not interested.
Is Babu green or black?
Some kind of dark grayish blue or something like that.
And this was a choice, so I want to know what the choice was. Another thing about Babu is while he's featured on Laugh Olympics, nobody else is due to rights. Even Corey is not allowed to appear. Certainly not Jeannie.
Oh, this is okay. 2 weird TV adaptations in a row.
Yeah, and also the animation doesn't match the sitcom opening.
No, it
and
doesn't.
I don't like it. Man, this would be so interesting if it looked like the opening credits. I Dream of Jeannie.
Wasn't it a Pink Panther style animation?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was stylistic. She, her dancing was a lot like the Pink Panthers, and he slowly appears the same way she did.
Mm-hmm. But not this. This is just whack. This is just essentially like a Archie cartoon look.
Yeah.
With a Jeannie thrown in there who's small, wears a choker, and
I don't think I found it actively annoying.
the only thing annoying is Corey.
You think Corey's annoying?
Yeah, he's a
Come
little.
on!
He's a little snot.
Quit coming on to me, old woman.
Yeah.
Ew.
She's the
right.
She's 1973's Harley Quinn to Corey.
Let's move on to a show that maybe you're more into.
Okay.
11 o'clock Speed Buggy. 16 episode of the Hanna-Barbera production. It's Debbie, Mark, and Tinker solving mysteries with their controlled yet sentient pet dune buggy.
Is there a button like one?
He's
of
got a
those
control.
remote
He's got a
buttons?
remote that they talk into.
I don't think he's sentient. No.
I've seen him doing shit on his own.
But it did weird me out to learn that he has like a remote control this episode.
Yeah, but this is inspired by Herbie, so who knows what parts they decided to.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
So this stars Michael Bell, Arlene Golonka, Phil Luther Jr., and Mel Blanc.
I knew it. Yeah. He also played the villain character, one of the villain characters. It's good to see Mel Blanc turning up on here.
Yeah. Mel Blanc is using a voice similar to the Maxwell car he played on Jack Benny.
Yes.
The Chug-a-Boom car on Penelope Pit Stop and the Monkey Mobile. But here's what I kind of thought about. Speed Buggy's speech pattern is sort of a stutter. And a Mel Blanc stutter character would have to... we're talking about Porky Pig. If you take out the... Go fuck yourself.
I just want to make a blanket statement here, which is I enjoyed Speed Buggy a little more this time.
Really?
I think it might be because this lineup sucks really bad. I actually gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Everybody knows this is a Scooby-Doo clone. Shaggy is better than Tinker to me.
Oh, Tinker, what did you do wrong?
In the one I was watching, they're fighting Dr. Kluke, and he was with he was like an evil scientist. He had a Bela Lugosi style sidekick played by Mel Blanc. And in the episode I saw, he kidnapped Speedy, and they used their remote control to turn Speedy on and off.
What does he do extra that he's not already doing?
I don't know.
He's tiptoeing.
Weird. So anyway, he ate a chocolate flavored lube bar.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's when the evening's over.
Yeah, the art's great.
Yeah, this ain't no sloppy affair. You're right.
No.
Very tight.
Looks good.
So Scooby likes snacks, but Speedy, while he can eat food, he prefers oil, right?
Yeah, lube.
Yeah. So Scooby assists Shaggy when Shaggy's making food. Speedy assists Tinker when he's mechanicalizing. Scooby's scared of everything, whereas Speedy is a car. So he's not. Scooby tends to say his name over and over again, where Speedy says...
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Scooby's more likely to put on a costume, I guess, and get stuck in a big cake. Where Speedy is a car.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a moment in an episode I watched where they roll a map on Speed Buggy's head, and then Speed Buggy kind of was like... So, am I to understand that if Speed Buggy's hood pops up, that would be him getting an erection?
Nice.
Let me write that down. Draw that later.
I'm digging it, though, honestly.
If you're sitting in Speed Buggy and you fart, does Speed Buggy know? What was that?
Hey, Varuma.
What was that? Ready to pull over? Can you commit suicide using Speed Buggy? Or
It depends on if you press the button. If you press the button at the last moment,
hold Speed Buggy's tire hand as you go off Thelma and Louise style.
you're like, we're doing this, Speedy.
What?
Varuma.
Does he have to do it?
Call some help.
That's if you drive off a cliff. But like, I was thinking more like, can you use the exhaust, or is that just farts? Like, it's not really exhaust.
He doesn't want anybody to die in him.
There's a couple times Speed Buggy runs over people, and it's comical. It's like if Scooby jumped on him.
He's a dune bug.
He's a car. If Speed Buggy runs over you and you die, who is responsible?
The driver or Speed Buggy?
Tinker?
These are all interesting questions, Adam. I'd love to see the court case.
Is it vehicular homicide? Unfortunately, the show is canceled before any of these questions.
Does Speedy put his hand on a Bible?
Mark is clearly nailing Debbie every time Tinker works on Speed Buggy. But if Mark found tire tracks on her vagina, oh, never mind.
Varuma. I think I saw Tinker. Varuma.
It's one too many. At 11:30, Josie and the Pussycats, also 16 episodes and then aired infinitum.
Mm-hmm.
But this is post Josie and the Pussycats' original 1970 series and the 1972 series Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space. Is that the title?
Yeah.
There's no year or anything.
Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space. What is it, 1972 to 1973?
Yeah, so this is just any old Josies get reran here.
You know, in Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space, I just want to say, Adam, this starts out and the Pussycats are like playing a show at a rocket launch.
Okay.
And they're getting their picture taken, and Alexandria,
yeah,
she like comes in and she elbows her way into the picture so that she can be in the center of the shot.
Such a bitch.
And she knocks them all into the rocket. And
Killing them?
No. She falls into the rocket herself. The auto launch goes off.
She always tries to save face by being like, oh, me too.
Just continuing. Last time I reviewed, she signed them up for a show in England and ended up sending them to like
Killsville.
She sent them someplace. Her worst manager ever. And they go into space, and the one I saw, they go to a planet and they meet some aliens named Zorb, Zob, and Non.
Nice.
These are new songs. Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space featured some new ones, actually.
Okay.
But the one thing that's weird about this, Adam, is Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space had all Scooby-Doo music cues.
Oh, yeah, they recycled those on Goober and the Ghost Chasers here.
And you know what? On the Wikipedia page, they were saying it was famous for its really inferior laugh track.
I didn't notice it that bad after Filmation's terrible laugh track.
I didn't either.
Of probably one person 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice it so bad on Josie.
They also forced an alien pet on him. His name Bleep. This is all pretty good.
So Sebastian the cat doesn't exist in the future?
Oh no, he's here. He's here.
Also,
he's like,
are these the same Josie and the Pussycats?
Because when they try to... Yeah. Same ones. You got Alexander and Alexandria.
Only thing that changes is the years.
And they go to a different... planet every week.
All right.
You know, but when they get Bleep, they're like, we already got a pet. His name is Sebastian. You know, and he gets all mad. But anyway.
God.
This is one of the best ones in the lineup. Even though the spaceship looks like a vibrator. Let me know if you...
They love their ship.
Yeah, let me know if you
Set
disagree.
phasers to stun.
But I actually might recommend this.
Well, I like the other Josie, the original series I watched.
Compared to the flagship show Archie, the Archie show,
Oof.
is it possible Josie and the Pussycats is the best show of the Archie universe on cartoon?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I watched an episode called Plateau of the Apes plot, which was very frustrating. The girls end up on a monster island with this guy who's Dr. Monroeing people into apes. And at some point, Alex, the manager, gets turned into a chicken. If you're like me, you're like, turn those fucking girls into real cats now. This is the episode where the Pussycats become Pussycats.
And they don't.
No! At no goddamn point do the Pussycats become real cats. They're even running back and forth across the room, and Sebastian turns into a saber-toothed tiger for a second and then runs back. Why did they turn into cat?
It is a missed opportunity.
They would not wear ears for hats. Speaking of missed opportunities, it's 12 o'clock. Everything's Archie. No matter where I go, everything's Archie.
Is that the name of the show? Because
it's the blanket term for reruns of any of the series which ran from 68 to 71. So there's like 4 different Archie shows.
Right, okay.
So this is just...
I watched episode 1 and episode 2.
Of just the Archie show?
Yeah, the Archie show.
Archie's here.
Jughead, where are you?
That theme song's infectious, I guess.
And it did teach the dances between the segments. We learned the Jughead, where you barely move your body and you strut around.
Right.
You get to see the dog do it. They got a dog called Hot Dog. We learned about this. He has Papa Smurf's voice.
Oh my.
But no one hears him talk. Only we do.
Lucky us.
They got almost every voice talent wrong. There's not a single character on here that sounds like you thought they would, and
it sounds good.
And it ruins it because I really like Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, those were some pretty good voice work.
Yeah, but
voice works.
But the Archie show is far inferior, and it should be their flagship show.
The cast is like there's only like 4 people. I watched episode 10 of Archie's Funhouse, which is a variety show in front of a giant jukebox with a live action child audience screaming at them to start Archieing. We watched some film parodies. One called Flying. These are like. This is what happens. We see Flying Fools, a WW1 biplane accident. Kids applause. Ben Hu, Jughead as Ben-Hur, falls off of his chariot. Betty, in Perils of Perline, is tied to a train as a lion approaches and a bomb drops on her. Oops, the film breaks. The kids boo. Now Big Ethel is trying to catch Jughead with a catapult. She smashes into his house. Archie gets hit with a pie. The garbage man is here. Tell him we don't want any. Cut close up to live action kid's face. Huh? Hot dog. These guys started at the bottom and stayed there. For 20 minutes, that's what the show is. This is like a Wonder Chosen level of editing. Minus the jokes. Yep. But plus jokes from popsicle sticks.
The audience goes nuts for Hot Dog. Every time he talks, they're just like, oh my God.
This shit's crazy.
He's like, gee, folks. Looks like it. I'm sorry. I don't mean
white people problems, am I right? Oh, Hot Dog.
And the audience is like, oh my goodness. I urinated on myself.
You know what else? Every so often they would cut to lightning striking. So, like, I guess God's angry. Stop.
Yeah.
The longest time we spend like static is hearing a shitty Archie song.
Yeah.
Not Sugar Sugar. So this was horrible.
It's bad.
This gave me a headache. They make Big Ethel a monster.
Betty and Veronica's voices are messed up.
I'd say Reggie is the least annoying, and even that I wouldn't agree on that being his voice.
Oh, you know, and the one I saw, Reggie was like,
how's it going, guys? It's kind of like that, right? Yeah, so don't watch Archie, I'd say.
I would not this one.
Wait till he gets all sexy and people start dying. Speaking of sexy death, it's time to round out the morning with a 12:30 smattering of Fat Albert. Fucking great.
Yeah, I hate this show.
Season 2 of 8. That's all the information I'm giving.
I'll tell you, I really hate the show because who wants to get preached at by Bill Cosby for 20 minutes about how to be moral. And it ruins the whole thing. I watched The Bully. This is where, this kid named Slappy is being a bully, and basically all the kids are like, I wouldn't take that. And I'm like, damn, what are they saying? And then Fat Albert comes up and he's like, Slappy's pretty cool. He's talking. He won't stop being a bully, and because this show's always a bummer, and then eventually he talks shit about Fat Albert, and doesn't know Fat Albert standing behind him. And I think Fat Albert
How do you miss Fat Albert?
Fat Albert picks him up and spins him around or something.
Oh my god!
Then he
drops him.
Apologize to everybody, and he's like, I'm sorry, and he's like, louder.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and he's like, I'm sorry, everybody. I will not do this again.
Drop your pants.
First Slappy's like, Fat Albert, don't kill me.
Fuck you up.
Yeah. So anyway,
He's gonna turn you into Russell.
yeah, this show's ruined by being reminded it's Bill Cosby every 5 minutes, and he is no position to tell
There's
you.
a new way to work around Bill Cosby, which I guess no Fat Albert. Sorry.
There's a couple of shows that I do not look forward to. One is Richie Rich, one is Fat Albert, and I would
not
much
put this in with Richie Rich.
I would much rather watch Richie
I'd
Rich.
watch it. Yeah, I'd swim in a pool of Richie Rich shit. Avoid Fat Albert episodes.
Hell yes.
I watched a really weird episode with which begins with a bearded Bill Cosby, which is the patchiest thing you've ever seen. So creepy. He's pushing a baby carriage through the junkyard, talking about little siblings.
No.
This episode's called The Newcomer. And it turns out the newcomer was Dumb Donald's dad because his mom's pregnant. And Donald comes home to find his room full of baby shit. And he's told he's going to have a little brother or sister. Donald doesn't want a fucking baby in his room and is rightly angry as there's no reason a crib needs to be in his room and not his parents. Right. What is he going to do?
That doesn't make any sense.
I'll just nurse it.
We need our alone time.
Yeah, what the hell? We gotta make another one. Dad says he's probably just shocked, just like he was, and then dumb mom just scowls at him. Dumb mom. The Cosby Kids congratulate Donald that he leaves upset. The gang follows him as it's the only funny thing they're animated to do. They take Donald to the zoo to get his mind off babies, but they're fucking everywhere, shoving their heteronormity down Dumb's throat. Suddenly, nobody knows how babies are made. Everybody's clueless. Fat Albert tries to whisper it to Dumb Donald, but Donald is not interested. And it turns out Fat Albert thinks they're from Cabbage Patches anyway. Donald goes home. Exactly.
I want to find out where babies really come from.
I'm going to pass. I'd rather hear it from my parents. Because if you say you, I'm going to be horrified. So Dumb Donald goes home to ask his parents how a baby is made. And right away, Dumb Dad is shifting blame, saying they're having a baby to keep you company. Then he says Dumb Mother is at the hospital delivering it now. I don't like to get involved. Donald is now psyched to have his sister back home because it means his parents are still screwing. Mm-hmm. No concerns about anything are ever met by anyone. The end.
That's how all of them right?
Suddenly he's just super juiced. I can't wait to share a room and wake up every night.
Yeah.
Which with that voice, how won't that happen?
How all the time we watch stuff and then we forget about that the people we're watching were terrible. And we talk about the old radio stuff, and then... Oops. This one, I was like, this one's too fresh. I cannot.
Yeah, it didn't feel fun to really dissect Fat Albert when it's such a Bill Cosby love letter to Bill Cosby.
It's like looking at the work of Fatty Arbuckle.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying?
Funny comparison. Fatty Albert Tuckle.
Yeah. You can't look at it without thinking like...
that monster?
Man. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry if that's bad. I don't think anybody would fight that, though. It's just, whatever.
Hey, next time we watch Fat Albert, let's just count the junkyard establishing shots, because they use the same one 5 times in this one.
Yeah.
Pinch those pennies.
Yeah, I wonder how the people the Bill Cosby based the Fat Albert characters on feel about that.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Oh, good Lord. Well, we made it through. We can not talk about it anymore. So that's the end of this Saturday morning. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So it's time to go out and really hit the day hard, or just go to bed. So you can catch me at Adam Fairland at YouTube. It's like a video site.
You might have heard of it. Yeah, or you can catch me at Dusty is Certifiable on the gram. Or you can catch the show on everysaturdayMorning.fun, where we have the YouTube. We have the Adam Fairland YouTube episode. We got an audio version in case you're in a cubicle. And we also throw in advertisements and
look at what they were trying to sell you.
Preview movies from the time period and the channel. So little bonuses.
Ha ha ha! We're in the smart future. Look at the past. Ha ha ha!
Join us, won't you?
Well, so biblical at the end. And to that I say, good morrow. Good morrow.
I've always tended to say good night, but that's so.
I know. I just hint at that not really being.
It's about Saturday morning.
Every Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning.